Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. Today I am filming the making of the workbook for the new template, the mini album mashup, album 1. And I haven't even filmed the intro to this. So I'm doing this first because every time I don't film a workbook video, I get asked about it all the time. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it because I have to make one anyway. So I'm just going to film it for you, with you. Right? We'll do it together. There are a bazillion ways to make work. You could just use a binder. You could use a folder that's got those little prongy things where you can put page protectors in. You could just use those. I do it the way I'm going to show you in this video is my favorite way to do it. And that's the way that holds up the best for me. But again, there are so many different ways you can make a workbook. And I have a video playlist where all my workbooks are in there. I will link that up here in the cards. And I'll also link up I will link the intro video because by the time you see this video, the intro video will be up as well to this set of templates. I also want to apologize because my house is sick. My granddaughter was sick last week. And my son got sick last week. And then my husband and I got sick 3 or 4 days ago. I don't know. Pretty bad. We're not sure what exactly it is. It's either a really severe cold or the flu. But I sound awful. I don't feel so bad anymore. But my throat and my nose, awful. So I'm just going to give you a heads up. So if you all of a sudden hear a quiet spot where I should be saying something, it's probably because I'm having a coughing fit or a sneezing fit or something like that. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of let you know, and you can kind of hear it in my voice because it gets scratchy. And I also have a cough drop in my, well, it's not, let me show you what it is. It's not really a cough drop. I mean, I guess it is a cough drop. This is what I've been using, and I've been loving it. Oops, sorry about the glare. It is Manuka honey drops with eucalyptus, and it's so much more soothing, and it doesn't taste chemical at all, and I really like it. I'll link them down below if you want to check them out. I'm going to walk you through my process. I'm going to show you. We're going to do it together, but I did want to tell you on the side here I've got my laminating machine warming up, and I laminate my pages, so it's, you know, if you've been around a while you already knew that was happening. But I've already got it warming up. But while that's doing that, let me show you everything that I have ready. Okay, obviously I have laminating sheets. I'll link everything down below for you if you want to check it out. I know that they make matte laminating sheets, but the tape that I use to stick the mats to the sheet sticks to the matte laminating sheets, so I don't like them. So I like to get the regular laminating sheets. I like 5 mil. It's a little thicker, but it holds up, it stands the test of time. But I'm gonna put that aside for now because we don't need those just yet. Okay, well, I'll tell you everything that I printed off, and then we'll go from there. I have printed the title sheet twice onto cardstock because I like to have it on my covers. So I printed those twice. And then the important please read page, you don't need that in your guidebook, but I'm going to put it on the back side of my cover. But this page, and then 1 through 13, I'm going to say. Well, page 1 through 13, I printed onto 28-pound paper. You could just use regular copy paper, but I happen to like the 28-pound paper. So page 1 through 13 on the 28-pound paper or copy paper. And then 14 through 25, I printed onto cardstock. I am using the 80-pound white cardstock that I love to use, that I use in my albums. I printed all of these onto cardstock. And then I'm also going to need a couple sheets of black cardstock. This one is Recollections brand, 65 pound. I like to use these on my covers. So I'm going to set these aside because we're going to have to cut all of these out. So I'm going to set all the mats aside. And let's see. What was I going to point out to you? Oh. I probably already talked about this in the intro video. But the cover page. So if no two printers are created equally, right? So my printer sometimes will print like to the left or to the right, or it'll suck it in faster, or it'll suck it in slower, or whatever. My printer sometimes just has a mind of its own, just like everybody else's. And this particular time, my printer printed to the right more, or shifted it to the right. Because it says on here, the far left side does not print out, leave the margins attached to the cover template. This one says the far right side does not print out. Well, you can see my far left side did print out. So the cover size is correct, but this is not. But that's okay. But that's okay, because we have a little bit of wiggle room on our spine, because we can create more space there without needing to worry. And even if your cover piece itself, it doesn't print off all the way like mine actually did, just leave the extra. That little bit is not going to hurt anything, because it's the covers, so it's not going to hurt a thing, whether it's a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller, because they're already a little bit bigger and a little bit smaller. Does that make sense? Not smaller. They're already a little bit bigger all the way around, so you'll be fine either way on the cover. And then I also wanted to point out that the accordion, the 3-fin accordion binding sheet, does not have a mat. So in the mat pages, you won't see a mat for this. You can cut out strips yourself from all of your leftover pizzas or whatever to mat them, but they do not have a mat. Okay, I think that was all I was gonna point out. Again, I'm sorry about the way I sound. All right, first thing I want to do is I want to trim off these white borders on here. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to take one of these pieces of black cardstock, and I am going to attach, oh wait, yeah, I actually need to trim this down a little bit, because I want to have the black border. I don't know why. This is one of those things that's kind of silly, but I'm doing it anyway. Alright, I'm just going to use Advanced Tape Glider, and I don't use their tape refills because they're way too expensive, and I will link the place that I get mine. I know you can get them on Amazon and all that stuff, but I've yet to found the right kind for these pink ATG tape gliders, but you use whatever you have, whatever kind of tape glider you have. This is just what I have. And then I'm going to attach this on here. Okay, so for these two pieces, I'm not going to attach these until after we laminate them, because again, the laminating sheets are shiny, and since I record videos with my books, I want to make sure that it's not shiny. So I'm going to put these on after the fact. So I'm going to put these aside. Let me put those up there. I'm going to grab my laminating sheets. I'm just going to grab a handful. I'm not going to count. Okay, so for the cover pieces, let's see where. Alright, this is the bottom. am going to line them up in the middle, sort of. Well, I guess I just kind of fibbed. Okay, since this piece has this on the inside, this is where the binding is going to be, so you want to kind of scooch it over a little bit that way. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and do this one too. Okay, so I've got those two pieces ready to laminate. So then for the main base pages, I'm going to take the cover and the binding sheet and I'm going to put them back to back. And I'm going to put them in the laminating sheet. I'm going to have it, the cover sheet facing up, and I'm going to scooch it over towards the edge on this side, leaving about a little over 1/8 of an inch maybe on the one side. Right, I've kind of got these backwards here. Let me move those. Alright, so then page 3 and page 4, I'm going to flip page 4 over onto the back side. So we got page 3, page 4, page 3 facing up. I'm going to slip, well, whoopsie doopsie. Just happened to look up and realize my camera stopped recording. Alright, I got page 3 and page 4. I don't know why it stopped. I didn't hear it. Now I've got page 5 and page 6. Page 5 facing up. Stick it in here and move it towards the left hand side here. About 1/8 of an inch away. 7 and 8. Page 7. Flip page 8 over. Page 9, page 10, flip page 10 over. Now I'm going to have to constantly check to make sure that it's recording. Page 11, page 12. Page 13. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go grab one more sheet so that I can have a pocket. Hang on. And you'll see what I mean if you're new to making my workbooks. I just grabbed a plain sheet. And I'll stick this in here. And alright. So that's all that we are going to need for our laminating sheets. And I'm going to put these up. Actually, I'll put them up in a minute. So I'm going to bring my machine over here. This was a gift from one of you guys, by the way, years ago. Okay. Hang on. Let me open this up. Maybe. Do I know how to do it? I'm afraid I'm going to break it. Well, there we go. Woo! I was afraid I was going to break it. Okay, so it says it's ready. So now I'm just going to stick the end in that's sealed. And I am going to let it do its thing. Back in the old days, first time I started making my workbooks like this, I had a used laminator, and I would have to hold the button down, and oh my gosh, my thumb would get so sore. And then one of you guys bought this for me, and that was so sweet. So I'm just going to keep running these through. So all of them are going to go through the same way. Oh, I left this one in real time so that you can see just how long it takes to get, you see how shiny it is, to get something laminated. So alright, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them. I'm going to put it on fast speed though. I wish I could put it on fast speed in real life though, wouldn't that be cool? Okay. It's got something on it. Alright, so for the two covers, I'm going to get my paper trimmer out. I'm going to open this up here. On the top, it's the only place I'm going to cut, is on the top of the page. And I think I'm going to line it up to 11, to where the edge of this laminated sheet is at 11¼ inches. And I'm just going to cut that top just so that it's not super bulky. I'm going to do that for both of these. And then for all the other sheets, I'm going to do them just a little bit different. Let me do it like this. So I'm going to go at the top here, and I am going to cut them at 11. So I'm going to go off the bottom of the laminating sheet, not the bottom of the white sheet, but the bottom of the laminating sheet. Line it up at the 11, and I'm going to slice that top off. And what now I've done is I've created a pocket. I've created a space to put extra things in. We don't always need that for the cover, but you never know. So I'm going to do that to all of them. Okay, so now I'm going to put these back in order. This is the front cover, and this is the back cover. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to attach, you see how shiny everything is. I'm going to attach these down to the front and the back cover so that I won't have a shiny surface. But I'm actually going to use, stronger tape, I think, for these. So I'm going to grab some double-sided adhesive. Well, maybe not. Oh, here we go. 3/8 inch. This one is from a Cherry on Top. You can use any brand, whatever you have, but this is the one I happen to have at the moment. I have lots, but I'm just going to go around the edges. Now I'm going to attach them down to the front and back cover. Right, so that's so much better than looking at something shiny, right? When you're looking at my videos, I mean, if you don't make videos, then you probably don't care. So, all right, so for the back cover one, I want to make sure that I put it on the right side. So here's where the binding is going to be. So I need to make it, I want it to be on the back side. I didn't get it on there very straight, but that's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to get these back in order. Alright, so the next step is I want to punch the holes here. So here you could, if you wanted to, you could punch 3 holes and just use binder rings or put it in a binder or whatever. You could put it in the folder that has those little clasp thingies, little fastener thingies. But I'm going to use my bind it all, my Zutter bind it all, and I'm going to use the Zutter binding wires, and I'm thinking I'm just going to need 1/2 inch, but we'll see. I need to cut out all the mats, but let's do this first. So when I go to make my workbooks, I have made myself a cheat sheet, and I've used this so many times I can't even tell you. But I will link this down below. But you guys, this has been one of the best investments because I have used the heck out of this thing. And you can use it to make albums too. It's not just for workbooks. You can make actual albums with this, which I have done before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to line this paper up because I tested it out to see exactly how many holes I needed. So I'm going to line this paper up to the black cardstock that's on there, and I'm going to, actually let's do it like this. I have my middle marked, and there's a middle arrow here. I'm going to line those up, and oops, actually let me pull that out for some leverage, and line that back up, and I'm going to punch. So I punched the middle holes there, so then I'm going to scoot it over. Punch. Scoot it over again. Punch. There is this thing here that kind of locks it in place so that it stays in the correct alignment. So now I have to flip it around and line it up. But again, since the holes are already there, it's pretty easy to line it up. Right, so that's what I would do for both covers. So let me grab the other one real quick. Can you see the holes? Yeah, I think you can. I'll grab the other cover and do that one real fast. Same thing. Alright, so now we got both covers done. And so for the regular sheets, the regular pages, I'm going to do to where, let's see. So I'm going to do it to where I line up this bottom, the template here with the bottom of the white cardstock and the laminating sheet, and do the same thing. So what's happened is it'll match up to the bottom of the album covers or the workbook covers, but not the top, because we've got the space for things to stick out and whatnot if that happens. Okay. All right, I'm going to continue on. I usually do 2 at a time, but you can just do 1 at a time if you would like. Okay, so now I'm going to put this aside, because now I need to cut out all the mats. Plus, I did go ahead and print off another cover page, because you do need to trace these out onto your chipboard. So I printed this out onto cardstock. So I'm going to go through and trim all of these out so that we can mat our pages that we just punched and laminated, and then I'll be right back. Real quick before I start trimming some of these down a little bit better, I took all those little scraps I just had and cut them down to the same length and put glue on the top here to make myself a little scratch pad, because I take little notes down all the time while I'm creating and recording, so I'm trying not to be as wasteful. Like I can use these things, because you know, I don't need to use a fresh notepad, store-bought notepad or anything when I've got plenty of scraps. So I just wanted to let you know I did that. So now I'm going to go through and find the ones that I need to cut a little bit better and trim them out. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. I do want to point out that there's 2 pages. There's 2 things that I couldn't fix no matter how hard I tried in my Photoshop software. So these are all created originally by hand. And this one, for example, was a part of the Basically Amazing template. And when I created these mats a long time ago, I couldn't, for whatever reason, I could not fix the coloring of these mats. And it's such a strange thing, because in the original version it's the same. I don't know what happen, but no matter how hard I try, it's like it just gets worse and worse and worse. And that's one of the weird things that's happened in my system lately. Another weird thing, not lately, because it also happened years ago in 2020, whenever I released those, 2022. No, maybe it was 2022. I'll have to look, I don't remember. The other thing was this one, page 18. Where's the other piece of page 18? There we are. These should be the exact same width. And for whatever reason, no matter how many times I try to fix it, I cannot get it to be the exact same width. So when you trim it out, you know, they're top and bottom. They're right on top of each other like this. When you trim it out, just trim it straight down. You can see here, I've got just a sliver, just a teeny little sliver. I don't know why I can't. I don't know if my computer's glitching. I don't know if my printer's glitching. But whatever's happening, that is supposed to be the same width as the top part here. Okay, so now I'm going to put these in order, and we're going to attach them to our pages. Well, I'm going to try to anyway. Alright, so first I'm going to start with page 1. And so these are the ones that are meant to be traced onto your material of choice. So all I'm going to do is put a little bit of tape on the back there. I don't know if it's showing up. I'm going to de-stick it a little bit, and then I'm going to stick it on here. Right? So then the match for that, I am going to do the same thing. Add a little tape, de-stick it a little, and put it over top of here. So I'm going to go through and do all of them this way. Okay, now that I have all of the mats, now I did want to say, you can, I'm not going to do it right now, but if you wanted to, there are some pages, for example, whoops, that happens a lot. They get kind of like suctioned. Some pages have little pockets like this, and if you just wanted this pocket, you want to trace that, print this out onto cardstock, and then you can have this as a traceable template as well. Page 6, you would like print page 6. And then cut this out and have it as a traceable template if you didn't want to print both of these out at the same time every time. You can do that, but I usually do that along the way. Like if the need arises and I'm like, oh yeah, I do like that pocket a lot, so I would like a traceable template. Same with these two. Same with these two. Same with that one even. See the static. I don't want to put too much tape on there because I don't want it to get stuck. Yeah, and that was it. So if you wanted to, you could totally do that. And like even the inserts, for example, you could print out the page 11. You can print that out and cut it out and have it as just as a traceable template. If you just wanted this one or you just wanted that one, you could do that as well. But again, I like to do that as I go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my back cover and I'm going to put it in the back. Take my front cover and put it on the front. And then I'm going to measure because I think I'm going to be able to get away with the 1/2 inch binding wires. So let me measure. I mean, I'm almost 100% positive. Yeah, okay. So 1/2 inch binding wires. And then I think I have 22 holes. I'm going to count just in case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah, 22 holes. And then I know these have 24 loops, so I'm going to cut 2 loops off. one. And then we'll put this sucker together. I do suggest using something like a wire cutter. So these are the loops. This is what you would count as a loop. These little prongs here, the little skinny ones. So I like to go, so you got 1, 2, and then there's 3. In between the 2 and 3, I like to go in there and clip close to the 3 on the fat side. So that's what I removed. That's what I removed off. Just those 2. Alright, so then the next step is we want to take the front, no, we want to take the back cover and we want to flip it around. So like let's say we're going to just flip it around back on itself like this, right? So we're going to take this, and I think, yes, so then you take the skinny end and you run that through all the hose from the top of the pile, so where you just put the back cover over top of the front cover, and you want to run that in there like that. Next thing, on your machine, there are all these little, sorry, there's dust, all these little markings here. Well, there's one that says a 1/2 inch. You want to scooch all the way down to that. And then you want to take and set these in there, and you want to make sure, it's going to be hard for me to do, I got to get over top of it a little. You want to make sure you only get enough in there that will fit, like this lever will come out, see how it comes out? You want to make sure that what's in there fits. So then, oh, I need to, hang on, I need to open that up. I'm trying to keep my head out of it. Alright, so that's about 1, 2, 3, that's 6 of the thingy-mabobs. So I'm just going to give it a gentle press. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. So it's almost completely shut. But I'm going to go through and do, all of them. I've got 2 prongs, 2 that missed. All of them in the same space. I'm just going to do 6 at a time, make sure it's flat, and squish. Squish. And then there's only 4 left, so squish. Okay, so I'm going to shrink that in just a little bit more, and I'm going to squeeze them all again. 6 at a time. I'm going to flip it around. Yep, see it's almost a little too much. I'm going to back it up just a hair. And it's okay. That's, oops. I'll try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so now I've got that all done, and I should be able to take this back cover, flip it around, and now we have our workbook all put together. So there's our front cover, page 1. Remember, there's no mats for this page. Nice, right? Look at how nice this is. Whoops. All right, so that's it. That's all we have to do. And it's just that simple. All right, so let me know, you guys. Let me know down in the comments. Do you make your workbooks like this? Tell me how you make your workbooks. Do you use a binder? Do you use a folder? Do you use page protectors in a binder, page protectors in a folder? Yeah, so let me know your favorite method of making your workbooks. I would love to know. This is my favorite. Again, I've got the link to all the different workbooks that I've made over the years. I've got that playlist linked in the cards and in the description box. And I've got these templates linked in the description box. And I've got the intro video linked in the description box. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. It's that simple. All right, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.